I hadn't planned on covering this because there really isn't a huge amount of information to work with. But I've had a number of people asking over the last few weeks, so I've pulled together everything I could find. And in this short video, we'll discuss the story behind the Division's first raid, Operation Dark Hours. When the dollar flu first found its way into Washington DC, important personnel such as the President, Secretary of Defense, and Joint Chiefs of Staff were evacuated from the city. There were attacks on the Pentagon, the National Mall, and several other landmarks. Following this, there were riots, eventually leading to the city's security forces being overrun, forcing them to evacuate shortly after. The heatwave only added to the problems. The supply lines were cut off, criminals started banding together into larger hostile factions, fighting for supply and control, and any civilians who had survived up until now had been forced to join locked-off, armed communities for protection, while others, desperate to escape the chaos that was unfolding, flocked en masse to the Washington National Airport, looking for a way out of the city. However, the gathering of thousands of people in a single location created one of the most dangerous hot zones of the virus. Sarah tried their best to contain the area, but eventually had to concede. The airport was coded in DC-62, an insufficiently tested cure for the virus. This highly toxic chemical agent left a trail of death in not just the airport, but all across Washington DC's most populated areas. Washington National Airport was left abandoned, and became another dead zone to be added to the growing list of uninhabitable areas in DC. Bring it forward a few months. The Black Tusk are attempting to extract the broad-spectrum antivirals through their base at Tidal Basin. The Division managed to put a stop to this, as well as eliminating BTSU operative Mila Radek as she attempts to launch a missile strike on the White House. With their base at Tidal Basin now destroyed, the Black Tusk are in need of a new base of operations. Abandoned, with plenty of space and just far enough away to go unnoticed for a time, Washington National Airport was the perfect place for the Black Tusk to establish a base, and continue to coordinate their operations, as well as use it as a supply depot to feed the front lines. Within time, the Division became aware of the new Black Tusk stronghold across the river. If they were to stop the invasion of this new enemy, this is where they needed to start, or everything the Division has managed to stop so far would quickly be undone by the steady stream of soldiers and supplies coming from the airport. However, what they weren't prepared for was the new arsenal of enemies and technology that the Black Tusk had brought in. This is unlike anything the SHD had seen up until now. Max Bailey, otherwise known as Boomer, is the first boss that the Division come across in the airport. Boomer was a gifted athlete who had a promising start in the United States military. During his time, he set a 466-pound bench press record for his unit that still stands today. He was eventually dishonorably discharged for serious violent offences. However, the Black Tusk found him the perfect candidate. His raw strength and fearless aggression made him perfect for testing bulky, experimental technology. Equipped with a cutting-edge defense unit, Boomer is protected from all typical forms of damage, and it includes the ability to repair his armor. Boomer's downfall is his anger management issues. His temper has him losing control, and will cause him to manically chase down targets. This ultimately leads to his destruction, as the Division agents working as a team are able to easily maneuver him into position and take down his defenses. Oliver Gordon, or Weasel, is a Black Tusk officer that doesn't come from a military background. He made a name for himself in the private sector, developing military technology for the highest bidder. Weasel was let go by his employer after failing a routine psychological assessment for sociopathic tendencies, but was quickly headhunted by one of his best clients, the Black Tusk. Accompanied by two of the most highly trained Black Tusk elites, this is to make up for his lack of combat experience, but also to keep an eye on him, as not even the Black Tusk trust him completely. Weasel makes use of experimental chemical weapons in his fight to push back the Division. This isn't lethal, but it's incredibly debilitating, of which he is completely immune to through the use of the very best-in-class chemical protection gear. Black Tusk engineers have continued to work on their already proven autonomous Warhound technology. Two of their latest models are codenamed Lucy and Buddy. They represent a huge step up in lethality, intelligence, and durability. They are designed to work closely together and are considered inseparable. Equipped with miniguns, electroshock cannons, and proximity mines, they are able to put out a devastating amount of damage. But with an EMP generator, seeker mines, and the ability to repair themselves, even hiding in cover isn't an option. And this isn't the worst part. Buddy and Lucy are both capable of boosting system performance to a massively increased level. Critical overcharge bypasses security protocols and makes both Warhounds considerably more deadly, and should be avoided at all costs. The drone deployment platform Mark 52, or Razorback for short, is the latest in technology that the Black Tusk have in their arsenal. It has the latest in ceramic armor tech, which essentially makes it impenetrable to traditional firepower. Offensively, the Razorback is capable of missile attacks using Fang micro-missiles, and the deployment of an overwhelming number of semi-autonomous combat drones. Due to the nature and cost of this weapon, the Black Tusk will protect Razorback at all costs. They are willing to divert all available firepower, including missile airstrikes if necessary. Only through absolute coordination are the Division agents able to take this behemoth down. But all these veteran bosses and newly created technology aren't the biggest threat to be discovered within Operation Dark Hours. A far more sinister weapon can be found. With the dollar flu close to being eradicated, the Black Tusk has plans to introduce a new, more lethal virus out into the public, one with an even larger incubation period, ensuring that more of the populace is infected before the symptoms are shown. And by using these cute little blue teddy bears, they plan on spreading the virus through the children of society. Yeah, I completely made that up. I have no idea why there's so many blue teddy bears around. Maybe there was a sale. Maybe it's the latest in McDonald's Happy Meal toys to be collected. Regardless, I have this stupid urge to shoot every single one of these little bastards. Yes, I have the commendation, but still, I keep on shooting. But as far as the lore behind the raid goes, that's it. I'll keep on hunting, but I don't feel like we'll find anything else at this stage. Hopefully future raids will offer more in the way of story, but for now, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!